Imagine a small farmstead. Isolated, quiet, nestled in the serene German countryside, it stands alone, surrounded by fields and forests. A place where time seems to stand still, where the hustle and bustle of the outside world feels like a distant memory. Now picture this: 6 bodies brutally murdered, the tranquility shattered by an unimaginable horror. The kind of scene that leaves an indelible mark on the soul of anyone who witnesses it. This is the haunting story of Hinterkaifeck, a name that has become synonymous with mystery and terror, a story that has baffled investigators and haunted the imaginations of true crime enthusiasts for nearly a century. It's 1922, rural Germany, a time when life was simple yet hard. Communities were tight-knit, and everyone knew everyone else. Or so they thought. The date, April 4th. A chilling discovery rocks the community. News spreads like wildfire, and soon, the entire nation is gripped by the gruesome details. The entire Gruber family gone. A family that was once the heart of this small community, now reduced to a tragic headline. Andreas Gruber, the patriarch. A man known for his stern demeanor and hard-working nature. His wife, Kazilia, a woman of quiet strength. Their widowed daughter, Victoria, and her 2 children, Kazilia and Joseph. A family bound by blood and tragedy. Even the maid, Maria Baumgartner, met a grim fate. She had only been with the family for a short time, yet her life was cut short in the most brutal way. All found dead inside their home, brutally murdered. The scene inside the farmhouse was one of unimaginable horror. Blood stained the walls, and the air was thick with the scent of death. The Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of the most unsettling unsolved crimes in history. Despite numerous investigations and countless theories, the case remains a chilling enigma. The details are strange, the brutality shocking. The more you delve into the case, the more questions arise. Why was the family targeted? Who could commit such a heinous act? The lack of answers, haunting. Each clue seems to lead to a dead end, and the truth remains just out of reach. This case has it all: a remote location, a family hiding secrets, and a killer who vanished without a trace. The perfect ingredients for a mystery that refuses to be solved. It's a story that grabs you and refuses to let go. A dark chapter in history that continues to fascinate and horrify. The Hinterkaifeck murders are a grim reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most unexpected places. The Grubers were a small family living a quiet life in the Bavarian countryside. They resided on their farm, Hinterkaifeck, a place that seemed to hold as many secrets as it did memories. Andreas, the father, was known as a stern man, a strict disciplinarian who ruled his household with an iron fist. His wife, Kazilia, was seen as more gentle, a calming presence in the otherwise tense household. Their daughter, Victoria, had returned home after a failed marriage, bringing with her a sense of melancholy and resilience. Little Kazilia, 7 years old, was a bright spark in the family, her laughter a rare but cherished sound. Her little brother, Joseph, just 2, was the baby of the family, innocent and unaware of the tensions around him. Maria Baumgartner, the new maid, had arrived only hours before the murders, stepping unknowingly into a web of mystery. Life at Hinterkaifeck was isolated, the farm standing alone amidst vast fields and dense woods. The farm lay miles from the nearest village, a solitary existence that fostered both self-reliance and suspicion. The family, largely self-sufficient, kept to themselves, their interactions with the outside world minimal and guarded. Rumors circulated about the family, whispers of Andreas's temper, tales of his harshness, stories of Victoria's past, her failed marriage, and the secrets she might be hiding. The Grubers were not well liked, their reclusive nature and the whispers surrounding them creating an air of mystery and mistrust. But were they hated enough to be murdered? The question lingered, casting a dark shadow over the already somber Hinterkaifeck farm. Hinterkaifeck was a place of secrets. The isolation of the farm added to the mystery. The nearest neighbors, a 45-minute walk away. The seclusion made the Grubers vulnerable. Rumors swirled around Andreas. Some whispered of incestuous relations with his daughter, Victoria. The illegitimacy of young Joseph added fuel to the fire. The villagers spoke in hushed tones. They believed Andreas was a difficult man, someone who made enemies easily. The isolation of Hinterkaifeck amplified these rumors. The family, cut off from the outside world, became easy targets for gossip and suspicion.
In the days leading up to the murders, strange things happened at Hinterkaifeck. Footsteps in the snow, leading to the farm, but not away. A set of house keys went missing, never to be found. Andreas, visibly shaken, told neighbors of these events. He spoke of hearing noises in the attic, finding an unfamiliar newspaper on the property. He felt watched, uneasy.
Then, the previous maid quit. She left abruptly, claiming the farm was haunted. A chilling premonition. These strange occurrences created an atmosphere of dread. Something was amiss at Hinterkaifeck, something sinister. The exact details of the murders are unknown. The Hinterkaifeck farm, a seemingly peaceful and remote place, became the scene of one of Germany's most infamous unsolved crimes. What we do know is chilling. The brutality and mystery surrounding the case have haunted investigators and historians for decades. It's believed the family was lured to the barn one by one, starting with Andreas and his wife Cecilia. The barn, a place of daily labor, turned into a sight of horror. The killer, using a mattock, a farm tool similar to a pickaxe, delivered fatal blows. Their skulls were crushed. The sheer violence of the act suggests a deep, personal rage. Victoria and her daughter Cecilia were likely murdered next, found in their beds, bludgeoned to death. The sanctity of their home violated in the most gruesome manner. Little Joseph, still in his crib, suffered the same fate. The innocence of a child met with unimaginable brutality. The killer showed no mercy. The cold, calculated nature of the murders left the community in shock and fear. Even the new maid Maria, arriving that very day, was not spared. Her life was cut short before she could even settle in. The murders were brutal, personal. The use of a farm tool, something so familiar, added a chilling layer to the crime. The killer spent time at the farm after the murders. Why? This lingering presence suggests a disturbing level of comfort and familiarity with the victims and the location. Despite extensive investigations, the case remains unsolved. The Hinterkaifeck murders continue to baffle and intrigue, a dark chapter in history that refuses to close. The discovery of the bodies sent shockwaves through the community. The scene at Hinterkaifeck was horrific. The victims found in various locations around the farm. Andreas, Cecilia, and little Joseph in the barn. Their bodies partially concealed with hay. Victoria and her daughter in their beds. Maria in her servant quarters. The brutality of the murders was shocking. The killer used a mattock with brutal efficiency, delivering fatal blows. Adding to the horror, the killer remained at the farm for days, feeding the cattle, eating the family's food, as if nothing had happened. News of the murders spread like wildfire.
Police arrived at Hinterkaifeck to find a chaotic scene. The investigation was hindered by the lack of forced entry. Nothing was stolen.
The murder weapon, the mattock, was found at the scene, wiped clean of fingerprints. The killer was careful, methodical.
Investigators questioned neighbors, villagers, anyone who might have information. They followed every lead, every rumor.
Despite their efforts, the investigation stalled. The killer vanished, leaving behind a trail of blood and unanswered questions. Theories about the murders ran rampant.
Some pointed to Carl Gabriel, Victoria's former husband. He was ruled out, but doubts lingered. Others whispered about a vagrant seen in the area or a group of traveling laborers. Each lead led to a dead end.
The incestuous relationship between Andreas and Victoria became a focal point. Could someone have sought revenge?
The investigation, however, yielded no concrete answers. The killer's identity remained a mystery.
The Hinterkaifeck murders remain unsolved. Despite numerous investigations, countless theories, and renewed interest over the years, the case has become a morbid fascination. inspiring books, documentaries, and countless theories. Was it a crime of passion, revenge, or something more sinister? The lack of answers only adds to the mystery. The Hinterkaifeck Murders serve as a chilling reminder. Some crimes remain unsolved, the truth buried with the victims. The Hinterkaifeck farm no longer stands. It was demolished a year after the murders, but the memory of that horrific night lingers. The case continues to fascinate and horrify, a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows. The story of Hinterkaifeck is a haunting reminder that even in the quietest corners of the world, evil can find a home. The victims, forever silenced, their story, a chilling whisper in the wind.